prioritize houses for the low income and medium income areas.
PhD, I prefer rather than calling doctor. The Honorable Minister of State, Works and Housing, Engineer Abubakar Aliyu, Fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, the Honorable Minister of the FCT, ably represented by the Permanent Secretary, Mr. Adeshola Olishade, the Honorable Minister of State for Housing, Federal Republic of Ghana, representatives of the governors of Borno, Lagos, and Yobe states, representatives and heads of ministries, departments, and agencies, distinguished stakeholders, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure and honor to welcome you to the 15th edition of the Abuja International Housing Show with the theme, Sustainable and Resilient Housing Solution for Post-Pandemic World. This year's show is part of the efforts of the International Housing and Construction Show, grand advocacy event targeted at creating awareness for affordable housing as a critical human need. This yearly event gives us the opportunity to take stock of the state of our housing and construction industry, especially those left behind when it comes to housing as a fundamental human right, and determine the way forward. The theme of this year's show could not have come at a better time than now, when the world is saddled with the scourge of the COVID-19 pandemic and the damning consequences, especially on those without access to affordable housing and shelter. COVID-19 has spread to all parts of the world, showing that ours is indeed a small world with little or no boundaries. As of July 2021, there are over 100 million confirmed cases of COVID-19. It's actually about 143 by the 18th of July, with over 5 million deaths reported in over 200 countries and territories. The COVID-19 pandemic led to a lockdown which paralyzed economic activities in both formal and informal sectors. The implication of such paralysis include the loss of or reduction of household incomes, government revenues, and attendant ability to meet statutory responsibilities, including the provision of affordable housing, and with drastic impact on health and well-being of internally displaced individuals, as well as those without shelter. The informal sector employs about 80% of Nigerians and is mainly made of daily paid workers who are worst hit by the lockdown. It is pertinent to mention that amongst those in the low-income bracket and the informal sector, the COVID-19 lockdown has impacted them more negatively. The likely effects of the COVID-19 pandemic on the delivery of affordable housing in the face of reduced revenues is better imagined. Already, Nigeria is experiencing an increased rate of unemployment and youth restiveness, with banditry and kidnapping being the order of the day. The lockdown due to the pandemic has also made it impossible for schools to resume. In the absence of schooling, more children and youth are likely to drop out of school with only unimaginable consequences for society, e.g., increase in gender-based violence ranging from kidnapping, terrorism, rape, physical and emotional assault, some of which has resulted in loss of lives. It is heartwarming and noteworthy that in addressing the impacts of COVID-19 and ensuring development and growth of the economy, the present government has initiated numerous programs that can drive employment creation and improve on the availability of housing. Some of these programs include the COVID-19 economic stimulus, where the government announced an approval of a stimulus package of about 3 trillion naira to cushion the effect of the coronavirus pandemic on the economy. The package is expected to address the needs of both formal and informal sectors, including the National Social Housing Program. It has also developed an infrastructure company in partnership with the Central Bank of Nigeria, Nigerian Sovereign Investment Authority, and private sector stakeholders. It is no longer news that the various state governments have continued to support the supply of affordable housing through budgetary allocations, either as direct investments or counterpart funding from the federal government. The presence of the representatives of the governors of Borno, Yobe, and Lagos State is an acknowledgement of this fact, because it is clear the delivery they have done, we all have seen. For us, in the Abuja International Housing Show, we shall continue to pursue our mandate of advocacy and promoting the availability of affordable housing and social economic data for championing the cause of housing provision, as well as advise government-related issues as a contribution towards ameliorating the adverse effect of the pandemic against those that lack access to affordable housing. We recognize the data collection disaggregated by the housing practitioners is at the center of most failed housing projects, particularly as it has to do with low-cost housing. Hence, the Abuja International Housing Show has continued to collaborate with World Bank, Central Bank of Nigeria, Population Commission, the Ministry of Works and Housing, Mortgage Refinancing Company, Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, Bureau of Statistics, Mortgage Bank Association of Nigeria, and other development partners, non-governmental organizations, and MDAs to generate data meant to address the issue of housing deficit across this country, Nigeria. I wish to use this opportunity of the 15th edition of this show to thank all sponsors and the Board of Trustees for their technical and financial support over the years. I will also not forget to thank other stakeholders, especially members of the Technical Working Group and the press, for their unrelenting support in bringing to the forefront the cause of affordable housing as a fundamental human right. I therefore wish to conclude by calling on all stakeholders to join hands to ensure that housing and construction takes the center stage in our development effort as a nation. Thank you very much for listening, and have an impactful conference.